Hey Robert, what's up, man?
Yeah,
So welcome to my channel. So today, audience, we're deciding to record a little podcast. We might go for like 20, 30 minutes, just talking about things we're interested in. Yeah, let's jump right into it. So,
my baby.
Robert, um, we were talking a little bit before the recording this about dating in general and marriage and stuff. So do you think that um dating someone is the best way to go? Do you think you have to even marry a person to be able to have a good life with, a single person?
So what you're saying is, can you enjoy life by yourself without the need of a woman, pretty much?
Yeah, like someone that's maritally bounded with you. Are you able to enjoy your life?
I mean, yeah, I'm doing it right now. I mean, I think the
Even
ha
when you're older, like 60?
yeah, I mean, obviously, when we get to a certain age, we're gonna want like a female companion. It's inevitable. I mean, when we're young, we obviously try to hold it back as long as possible if
Hmm.
if we can, but I mean, it's just you have to not. I think the key is to not settle. That's the key.
Right.
You got to know your worth. You can't just pick a girl that you barely like just because you know she's gonna stick with you, even if you don't like anything about her and she doesn't fit with you or whatever. But I mean, you gotta. Any man wants to have children eventually. It just you got to pick the right partner. So it's
Right.
very tough in America to pick the right partner. Not much suitable options for being real.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, yeah, being single is it's actually good for you, especially when you're growing, when you're still trying to level up, because you're able to devote more time into your craft and you're not distracted. So
Right.
definitely when you're in your 20s, I don't think you should that should even be an issue. Like you don't that should be the last thing you're thinking about
Hmm.
to build yourself up.
Right.
Yeah. How about you, boss?
Um, so I agree with what you're saying in terms of the you can be satisfied kind of at least in the medium, maybe short to medium term with just being single and maybe just having like a person you date. Or you don't even have to worry about it before. Just developing yourself is enough meaning in your life. But I guess I disagree where like there does come a certain point in your life where you should, but you did say that as well. So maybe we're closer on that than I think. Um yeah, we should have I think we should have children like you said, and men do want to have that in their life. And yeah, the only way you can have that unless you adopt is to have a long-term relationship with a woman. So I just think marriage is the way to do that. Like traditionally, that's been the way that we've done that. And I think that's worked for like thousands of years. So I know that's a bad argument to make. Like if it's worked for this long, why don't we continue it? Because the environment does shift and things like maybe the birth control pill or other check technologies have made it
I ruined it.
um less available to, or it's less efficient to engage in those activities maybe, or those institutions. So I don't know. It's kind of a hard thing to think about. I think you just have to try it out with your own life, like figure out your destiny. um I personally, I think I'm going to go that route myself. Like we were talking a little bit earlier, I'm thinking I'm going to get a, you know, arranged slash hybrid kind of marriage where my parents maybe pick out a partner and I say yes or no to that person. I just think it removes a bunch of the trouble that we usually have trying to figure out who to choose, you know.
Yep.
Um, But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll play it out with our lives and then see what the outcomes are. And then we could come back to it and share, and analyze a little bit.
The only problem is nowadays, uh, most marriages are very, very unsuccessful, and people get into them for the wrong reasons. But the
Right.
main thing is what I've learned in the past couple weeks is because of like uh, abortion and what do you call that? Like Plan B and all that, condoms.
Hmm.
It just gives people are just able to have casual sex like it's nothing. And with that, they're trying to end the feminism movement. They're trying to empower women to like, oh, be your best self, oh, do your thing, and then these women just start sleeping around,
Right.
and there's just more and more single mothers because of this.
Hmm.
And as an outcome of that, it's
Hmm.
I don't even know. It's ruining it for everybody because now people don't take it that seriously.
Right.
People are
There's
just like going out there having like sex and whatever, and they're just popping out babies, and then there's it's usually just a single mother raising one kid, and
right.
that's never a good outcome for the child. They need two parents in the household.
Hmm.
And then with the way marriages where the divorce laws are sided with women, it gives women a reason to want to divorce whenever because it damn near incentivizes them. Because if they get divorced, they know regardless the man's going to pay child support, alimony. They're going to get custody of the kids damn near every time, and they get half of the man's wealth. So it's like to women, it's like, yeah, any problem happens, like think I think we got to end it here. Like they didn't they any out that they can have is going to be beneficial to them regardless
Right.
because it'll benefit them and that's all they care about. They won't think about the children and how it affects the children. And one statistic I learned is that from another podcast is 50% of marriages nowadays end in divorce, and 80% of those are initiated by women. So that's why once I learned that, I already didn't like the idea of getting married. But when I found that out, it just really puts into perspective how much women or how much power the women have in the divorce court,
Right.
which is why men are so scared to get married nowadays. If it was just an even like sided leverage, then it would I don't think it would be a problem, like really,
Hmm.
because then you'd always there would be no incentive to split the family up and keep the two parents raising the children,
Hmm.
and I mean everything would be swell. But with the way the laws are, it's not advantageous to men to get married in the Western world in America. So it's my thoughts.
Yeah, definitely. I think part of the like difference in like love marriages versus like arranged marriages is that the expectations kind of determine how people are going to perceive the progress of the marriage. So almost like when you are marrying based off of passion and love, then you have really high expectations for the other person to continue that, your own feelings to carry across, years, like decades of time. But it's just not sustainable unless you put in like enormous amounts of effort to keep that romantic part of your life going. So, and then arranged marriages, I think, is the opposite, where you have super low expectations about the person. And it's like, I don't know what to expect. Like, whatever, like my parents chose this person. I just said yes because they seem okay. Then you just like go from there. And then you can actually grow your love with the person because you're accepting them for their flaws and whatever they have. Because you're like, we're going to make this work because there's also societal pressure as well, especially in cultures like mine, where it's just you're a disgrace almost if you get divorced. Where it's a little bit different in Western culture. There's still a little bit of that, but there is a difference significantly. It's significantly different. So I think that has some to contribute in my own personal decision to want to still try to marry, um, even though in the US it's like 50%. But I think that statistic is based off love marriages. Like in India, I think the stats are a little bit different, or in other countries where they have arranged marriages. Maybe
Definitely way
it's,
different.
yeah. So I did recently watch a movie. I think it's called When Harry Tries to Marry. It was a good movie. I liked it. Basically, it was about a guy, Indian guy, who wants to get an arranged marriage, but then he falls for this white girl
Of
in the
course.
U.S. because he's going to high school or college with her. That's right. And yeah, he's on his wedding day. I guess I probably maybe I shouldn't spoil the movie,
Do
but
it. I'm not gonna watch it.
he's on, he's on
Don't
his
worry
wedding
about it,
day
Mom.
and he ends up stopping the marriage, breaking the girl's heart, the Indian girl's heart, and then yeah, he just decides to spend his life with the other girl, whatever, date her or whatever it might be. So I don't know if I completely accept the moral of that story, but I don't know. It's interesting to see a different take, which actually works. So I don't know. Um,
So basically, he was cheating on his future wife.
he's he really
Technically,
fought
'cause
it.
he was about to marry her.
Yeah, he really fought it because this girl was just his partner in like a project and stuff in college, and she really liked him and she kind of basically seduced him like in very subtle ways, and it worked. So because he was questioning everything, he actually fainted while he was getting married, so it was it was bad, but
I think that was his body telling him not to go with the white chick, but he still made the mistake. And that,
maybe let's
but
see.
yeah,
uh here um what do you think, Robert? Should we end it there? I think
why not?
that's
Why
not a
not?
bad conclusion.